G'day people, it's Matt here from Matt Carves. We are carving tiny today. I mean like pinky size. Well, that's a thumb size one, the one that I've already carved. And we're doing a pinky size one and smaller than a pinky size one. And I'm going to give you a few tips that you can use in your bigger carvings, as well as, well, if you feel like carving an extremely small carving like this. Tip number one is experiment with your burrs. So you've probably got a selection of burrs and you want to experiment with them. So when I start a carving, I'm going to go in with a blocking out burr, and I've decided to, because it's so small, for safety reasons, I go in with a sort of like a fine burr, and also it's easier to control. You don't want to remove too much wood, but you want to remove enough that you can sort of like have control over it. If you went in with an extreme burr here, you wouldn't have much control, but this burr is absolutely perfect for blocking out when it comes to these. So, and for details, I'm going to like look at the burrs I've got. So I've got this cutter burr on there that's got quite a nice rounded end. Now I'm using this to do the eyes, but I'm feeling like this one's taking off too much wood, and so I'm going to try another burr. Now I've gone on to this engraving burr, and it just is not removing enough wood, so I'm going to try a different burr. So I've got this kind of, it's almost like a flame shaped sort of cutter burr I've got here. I'm not quite sure who makes this one actually, but it's actually removing, I think it might be a little bit blunt, but it's actually removing a nice amount of wood, but still I can control it quite easily. Okay, so now I'm using this diamond burr. It's sort of giving me a nice kind of shape, and I'm using the top of it to sort of like define the nose as well. So now I'm using a drill bit. I think this is about a 1.2 millimeter drill bit, and you got to be careful with drill bits because side pressure can actually break them, but they have a real sharp edge on them, which makes it perfect for these kind of carvings. So you got to kind of like try and think out of the box when it comes to carving sort of small stuff, and sort of go to some really small kind of burrs. You can see it's sort of like really nice for getting that tiny little bit of detail there. And here I'm experimenting with the beard here. So I've got that burr there, that's quite nice for real sort of like fine lines. Then I'm giving this one a go, and I'm also going to use the end of the drill bit as well. That seems to work quite well. They actually all work in sort of different ways, so it was kind of like a combination of them all in the end. Okay, so tip number two, you got to go gently. And I say this because with details like this, and also how small this is, if you go in too aggressively, you're going to wipe your nose out or something like that. And also with these drill bits, you've got to go gently anyway, because the sideways pressure can actually snap them pretty easily. This is a 0.8 of a millimeter drill bit. And when you're going gently and you're really concentrating, you can see where the wood is being removed. So you sort of get an appreciation of the shape of the bit and how it interacts with the wood. Now I'm going to go even smaller than these two, and I'm going to go this size right here on the left. Smaller than your pinky, almost pencil size, just a tiny little bit bigger.